So hello again this afternoon. Um, Wanted to kind of change up the tone a little bit because I think people are thinking that I'm depressed, and that's why I'm talking about the things that I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is like real life issues that I know that I'm not just going through. And hopefully my words will inspire and help someone else who's going through um, whatever they're going through. Um, but again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing to the YouTube channel, for being active and participating. And helping to create this and make it a real life video, a real life channel. I am so sorry for all the coughing. I don't know where it comes from, but thank you for welcoming me into your life and into your world for another moment. And hopefully the videos will help someone, and again that this channel will grow. I keep venturing outside because again, going outside of my comfort zone. It's not that I'll never go outside, because of course, I have to go grocery shopping, I have to do different things. Sometimes it creates anxiety and sometimes it don't. But I have a lot of angels out there. I have a lot of people who believe in me. And it's those people that I look to whenever things look a little grim, things look a little sad. But I want to thank every one of you for being who you are and for being that person in my life. I love every one of you and thank every one of you. Yesterday I talked a lot about heroes and talked about being in that dark spot. Not every day do I experience being in that dark spot or experience hopelessness. Not every day that I do. Some days I do. I'm not gonna lie. Some days I look in the mirror and some days I see that person that could be without the PRS. I hate to keep talking about that, but that's what brought me into your world, was my disorder. And to clarify, it's not a disease, it's a disorder. To me, a disease is something that you can catch. A disorder is something that you're born with. So some people refer to it as a disease and I don't, because it's not something that if I touch you, you're going to get it. I want to talk about motivation and being a motivational speaker, because again, like I've shared that before, that I was groomed to be a motivational speaker, being in public speaking contests and all that, and being on the stage again to do that is what gave me my adrenaline. I just talked to someone earlier. They talked about the endorphins in your brain and stuff that actually gives you that happiness. We talked about exercising, and that's what creates that endorphin, and those endorphins in your mind, and that releases that dopamine so that you feel happy. They talk about, in my years of doing substance abuse, they talk a lot about doing things that, they talked a lot about the pleasure pathway in your brain. The pleasure pathway is when you experience something new, you eat a favorite food or something like that. And for some, it was a drug. I mean, the drug, whenever they used it, it excited them, and your brain remembered that moment when you first used it, and it created that happy feeling. And that's the same thing that people be chasing when they're using drugs. Is the first time they chase the first time of using, and think that every time that they use is going to be like a first time again, and that's what creates the addiction. There I go again with my nose just draining. Y'all have to excuse me. That's what creates the addiction is when someone uses, and it's called homeostasis. And homeostasis is basically when your body has been introduced to something, any chemical. It could be Coca-Cola, it could be it could be caffeine, it could be cigarettes, it could be anything. But whatever that chemical is that's introduced to your body that was not there when you were born, your body gets adjusted to it being there. The more you use it, the more it gets adjusted to it being there. And so then the moment that you don't have it, or you take it away from your body, then your body starts going through these ups and downs, these cravings and all that, and it starts going through shakes and shivers and all that kind of stuff. But it's called homeostasis. So your body's trying to find that balance again, and it's trying to find what it was like before the chemical was introduced to your body. But we talk about the pleasure pathway in the brain. When you do your favorite activity, your dopamines are released because you're feeling happy, you're feeling excited, and that's what gets you going up and going and all that. For me, helping people to get better in life, whether it be in substance abuse, criminal behavior, or whatever. Helping them to make a positive step forward has always been what provided that dopamine in me. I could never explain to you how it feels to see someone come in a certain state, but by the time they leave, and if the message really sank, and you see the results of it, it's like an amazing thing. It's almost like watching somebody be reborn again, and watching I don't know, this different person walk in front of you. I've witnessed that a million times, and I've loved every time I did. It makes me think about when I used to have to MC our programs, our graduation ceremony programs, when I worked at this company called GO Reentry Services. We work with people on probation and parole, and when I work with them, when these people would graduate, they get to the end of the program, and we actually hosted a graduation ceremony for probation and everyone to be able to come out and watch these people get to that point in their lives where they've made a significant change and actually completed the program. And I would have to, by the way, anybody who knows me and my personal life know that is the biggest, best experience I've ever had is working for that company. I absolutely love GO. I believe in everything that they do. It's called GO Reentry Services, and I love everything that they do. They make such a positive impact on people and their lives. But I worked there for 4.5 years, and I loved every minute of it. To this day, I still wait for them to so I can go back into doing that, because that's where I got my biggest kick at. It's where I was allowed to open up and express myself and be free, and actually create an environment for these people to actually to attach themselves to personally and see themselves grow. Anybody who knows me knows that I love GO. I love working at that company. It's the one company in my whole working career that I ever really brag about or boast about, and I still do to this very day. But I used to have to MC their programs, and when I did, for these people to get up on the stage and know that I was in that program with them, and I watched them go through from day one to the day they walked that stage, and every testimony, every time they received honor, my God, it's like I grew, and it opened me up even that much more. It gave me hope. It gave me belief. At this very present moment, I'm not working in substance abuse. I'd love to do that, but ever since my fiance passed away, a lot of things has happened, and I'm looking forward to getting back into the field. The kind of work I do now is I'm a assistant account manager at environmental services at a nursing home. So in some form or way, I'm still able to help people. When I look at the elderly people, I go into the room and acknowledge that that room is their home. And so I go in, and a lot of people that are there, their families don't come see them so often. So I'll go in and I'll stay for like 10 or 15 minutes a day and kind of provide that attachment to something, that they can feel like there's somebody out there that cares about them. Some of them, it tells me that they haven't seen their family in years. It's like they brought them out and they dropped them off and forgot about him. But I try to be that family, that extended family that I think that they need. And so in that manner, I'm still able to at least be around people and make a difference in their life. So seeing that end of death when I'm working with an elderly person, and watching them, I go in the next day and I find out that they passed away. Again, yet I'm faced with death, because I go back to thinking about my fiance who passed away last year. He was only 27 years old, and so I'm seeing that end of death, and sometimes I feel like I'm still being faced with it, and for some reason I have to deal with death. But I know there's a reason why I'm working at this nursing home temporarily. One day I am working on getting back into the substance abuse field, where I feel like that's been my calling since day one, to be that change agent in their life, But to go back to talking about motivational interviewing, to being a motivational speaker, that's what I want to do. And one day I will be put on that stage, and one day I will be allowed to be all that I am. And everything that's inside me that's been waiting to be shared will be shared with meaning. And I always tell myself that, I'm not some great person. I'm not some big macho or whatever. I'm just Travis Walker. And being just being that person, sometimes I've heard is enough for some people. Um, and that's where my dopamine comes from. That's where my endorphins come from. That's where I get the happiest. That's where I feel like my life on this earth has meaning and is powerful. Um, so then I'd like for you to share your moments of whatever gives you that happy feeling, whatever releases that dopamine for you. If you can share that with us and let us know what you think of that, I'd appreciate it. And again, thank you. Go visit my GoFundMe because it's what's going to help me to feel comfortable being on that stage again. I love every one of you, and thank you for being a part of my world. For being a part of my life. And I do not take that for granted. Even if you post one sentence, to me that there's like speaking into my whole world and into my whole life. Even if you just give me a like, and share my video, share the video, share imperfect perfections with people that and help us all feel connected in some way. I think we was all created. Humans was created to have a connection in this world. Now, some of us, because of disability or because of something that we're going through, it has robbed us of that. Because you isolate yourself when you go into this world where it's just you, because you feel safe in that and you feel comfortable, and you only hang around people that you feel comfortable around, and that's why some people migrate inward and they become hermits, is because they feel like they don't feel that connection anymore. And thanks to all of you, you're bringing me out of that stage. You're really helping me to get out of the hermit stage to where I am a free-flowing person. Okay, again, I'm going to say goodbye. We're approaching 13 minutes here, and I tried to keep it no longer than 15. But to all of you, I thank you, and I hope you have a great day. And share the channel. Share your views, share your feelings, your comments. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.